This video is brought to you by World of Warships.
I'm ready.
SpongeBob SquarePants!
SpongeBob SquarePants isn't just the star of one of the biggest cartoons of all time, but he's also one of the most popular fictional characters, period. There's something for everyone to love about this show, and it's no surprise that we're still getting new episodes after more than 20 years. But despite how well-known Bikini Bottom has become, sometimes I like going back to where it all began. More specifically, before it all began. You see, just like any other big cartoon, there was a ton of time and planning poured into SpongeBob before it was officially shown to the world in 1999. Just for fun, let's go back to a simpler time, where the very idea of SpongeBob SquarePants was first being born, and we can see how things slowly developed as time went on. Let's go over the hidden past that not too many people are even aware of. But first, one thing we know about the show is that it takes place in the ocean. And you know what else takes place in the ocean? Today's sponsor. I'd like to take a brief break from the video to talk about today's sponsor, World of Warships. You may be asking what that means, and well, it's quite literally an entire world of warships. You command and collect more than 300 iconic war vessels from history, unlock new ships, and dominate the oceans in cool battles. There's lots of customization and different ways to play with classes. Destroyers, cruisers, battleships, and carriers all have their own unique gameplay styles. There's pretty much something for everyone. World of Warships is filled with action if you're into stuff like that, but let's be real, who doesn't get hyped over an explosion or two? Or a billion? The game has a pretty good amount of content with missions and events constantly being added, and there are about 30 million players worldwide, so you're not alone when you start playing. What's also special about World of Warships is that the ocean battles feel realistic thanks to the weather effects, and it seems like you're fighting for real. Take that, evildoers! The download link is at the top of the description below, and let's do this! During registration, use the code READYFORBATTLE2020 to get free 700 doubloons, 1,000,000 credits, 7 days premium accounts, premium ship USS Charleston with stars and stripes camouflage, and the premium Japanese ship Ishizuchi. Head to the description now to download and let the battles begin. Let's head back in time to the year 1989. Yeah, SpongeBob's traces go all the way there, I'm not kidding. This was when Steven Hillenburg had developed a special comic called The Intertidal Zone, and within the series he included a character known simply as Bob the Sponge. There wasn't a whole lot to this dude's personality. He was literally just a sponge with sunglasses, but Hillenburg loved the idea and eventually turned it into Sponge Boy in 1994. Now you've probably heard all about the Sponge Boy stuff since it's common knowledge, but for anyone unaware, basically he rocked a similar outfit to his final version. He had a taller hat and pointy shoes that curve up off the ground, but this was still SpongeBob, except Sponge Boy. Only a few images can be found with him being referenced as this old name, but nonetheless it's still cool. There were also more than a few different design styles that SpongeBob could have become, but these were all doodles that never really went anywhere. Oh my god, just imagine how different the series would be if this is the guy you're following for 11 minutes at a time. Like, it would actually be hard to watch. This is so weird. Some of the most interesting pieces of concept art for the entire series were produced in the years leading up to the first episode, around 1995 to 1997. Drawn by Hillenburg in 1996, this is one of the very first images depicting jellyfishing. It's a fun, normal activity to think about now, since you're used to it appearing in SpongeBob, but back then, this didn't make much sense. That's not a bad thing though, because Hillenburg has an insanely creative mind and thought of such unique underwater activities, and these activities were what helped breathe life into the fictional world of Bikini Bottom. This concept art reveals full-colored character designs of everyone you know and love. Some of them are wearing different clothes or have slightly altered features, but that's just how animated characters are developed over time. Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy probably went through some of the biggest changes. I mean, look at them here. Oh my god, that's nothing like how they really are. Various aspects of Bikini Bottom were also portrayed through Hillenburg's concept art, like these special boatmobiles that could be driven around, or comfy bubbles that won't pop when someone relaxes. What didn't end up making it in SpongeBob is this glass bubble that hovers over the driver of various vehicles, but I think it's still an interesting design choice.
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Go, SpongeBob!
It was only with the passing of time that SpongeBob, Patrick, and the rest of the Bikini Bottom gang would evolve and lead to their looks today. Here we can see SpongeBob looks generally the same outside of a few colors, but his hat says C instead of K. What that tells me is that in the very early stages, the Krusty Krab may have been planned to match that by spelling it like how you normally spell crab, but that was probably changed to give the restaurant a more unique kind of vibe. I don't know, I'm just guessing here. Now, a cartoon is nothing without a great setting, and Hillenburg thought long and hard about where to actually place SpongeBob and everyone else. He knew they would somehow relate to underwater places and ideas, and eventually figured out what to do. Welcome to the iconic houses of Patrick, Squidward, and SpongeBob. SpongeBob's pineapple is more or less identical to the one appearing in the final series, but Squiddy's house is much thinner and rises up much higher than it normally does. Patrick's house is blue for some reason, which was eventually changed to purple. I'd say to give the scene more variety in terms of color. If we take a step outside of the houses and into the main town of the series, here's a very early look at Bikini Bottom. Most of it looks like how it ended up today, but dang, the chum bucket went through a massive change. I know it's kinda hard to see, but this looks like a much different kind of bucket. Looks like a telescope is coming out of it, so Plankton can always spy across the street at Mr. Krabs.
The Krusty Krab, home of the Krabby Patty. Crush!
Now, when we're talking about the Krusty Krab, this concept art reveals that we may not have even gotten the Krabby Patty. Well, it would have been the same idea, but instead it could have been called the Barnacle Burger. Not gonna lie, that's actually a really cool name. It flows off the tongue well. All the characters and locations I went through today was pretty much only scratching the surface into the hidden past of SpongeBob, but it gives you a good idea of how much Hillenburg evolved his character and world, leading to one of the most popular cartoons of all time. He cared so much about his work, but what are your thoughts about SpongeBob before he officially became SpongeBob? Let's talk in the comments. But anyway, that's all for this video. Subscribe for more awesome cartoon videos. Give a thumbs up and comment below, let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.